Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I have a very, very special guest with me. About a couple weeks ago, I had an opportunity to talk with a very nice young lady who's joining me here on the screen. Her name is Mary Green, and she is like one of the coolest people I've ever met in this industry, and it's so much fun to talk to. And in fact, I wanted to bring her to you and get a chance to see some of the people that actually use our software and use our industry, use our program, I guess is a good way of saying it, and that in their business. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Miss Mary Green from Oregon and say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hey guys. All right, so let's dive into a little bit a little bit about the what makes Mary Green so freaking awesome.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? I love my industry. I started repairing cars and restoring antique British cars when I was 6 with my dad,
Wow.
and I fell in love with cars then. And obviously, I'm still here many years, too many years later to count. And I've done a little bit of everything in our industry. I started restoring cars young. I worked in the aftermarket as parts counter sales in our local parts stores around town. And I've been on the body shop world for about 18 years now. And I started sweeping floors. I started washing cars, doing everything we do when we grow up in the shop.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And yeah, and from there, I also worked on the insurance side as an auto damage adjuster for 5 years. And now I'm at Precision Body and Paint here in Beaverton, Oregon, is our main headquarters.
Nice.
And I'm the CFO here, and I absolutely love it.
Oh, that is amazing. Oh, I just could not imagine, being able to, one, I'm not a car guy. I'm an airplane guy, and I was noticing the propeller behind you there is that you kind of get into the aviation thing, and it's like, oh, she's got an aviation link. This is awesome, so it's something that I can do. I see, but the cars, and I never got into that cars at a young age because to me, cars are transportation. But I can only imagine that you must have like the coolest dad in the world to be restoring British cars.
Actually, well, my dad is a muscle car guy,
Oh,
Corvettes,
okay.
Camaros, that type of thing.
Wow.
I fell in love with British cars, and my dad is so awesome that he learned how to work on British cars, which he didn't really have an appetite for. They're not performance. They're
Yeah.
not, very fast. I just fell in love with them. I still have my first car that I did, which is a 1957 two-door Morris Minor convertible,
Oh, cool.
and I still have it. I love it. It only goes about 50 miles an hour topped out.
Yep.
It's not a speed demon, but I love it. And so I was lucky enough to have my dad jump right in on that, even though it wasn't his lane of his favorite type of thing to do.
That's awesome.
And I've just been in the industry ever since. And now I've been 21 years in the industry.
Holy cow. So you're a CFO. I'm assuming you have an accounting degree in there sometime. You made time to go back to school or
I
start
did.
school?
I have a master's degree in business and accounting.
Holy cow.
Been busy.
Oh, man. I can only imagine. So tell me a little bit about Precision, that you have 3 locations and started
We
in
do. We have 3
1955.
locations. Yes, and our El Presidente, Ron Reichen, has been the captain of the ship and still going strong.
Awesome.
And our main focus is OEM certifications, and we focus on most of the high-end makes. We're Audi certified, Mercedes, BMW, most of the high-end makes. And we've been doing it a long time, and he's done a fantastic job, and I'm super excited to be part of his team here and watch us grow and see what we can do, and not only locally, but also nationwide in our industry.
Oh, wow. Nationwide? So are we detecting that going to be giving the big boys a run?
Well, we've just been really busy trying to be involved with local groups in our
Okay.
area and trying to navigate and help shape the industry across the
Oh, okay.
nation for body shops to do better. I mean, we've been involved with CIC and SCRS and 20 groups, and and just everything that we can get our hands in. And Ron's been really great because he is a fantastic speaker, and he is commonly brought in on many of the conferences and stuff, and it's just so fun to be a part of.
Okay, I was there for a second. I thought some of the big MSOs were get really nervous all of a sudden. Oh, here's this new up and comer that's gonna change the world.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we're not going to stop. I can tell you that, but we'll see how it goes.
That's awesome. Good deal. So you have. So tell me about what are your favorite parts about this industry? I mean, it's there's the repairing car side, but what's the more what do you find the most interesting about the collision industry?
Honestly, what I've loved seeing over all of the years that I've done this is we can take someone from literally washing cars, taking garbages out, and they can become a CFO in this industry, or a shop owner, or a shop manager, or a regional manager, or whatever lane that you end up going into. And that's pretty cool to see from the ground up. I mean, I was 14 years old when I started. That's pretty amazing to have moved through this industry. And of course, I'm numbers minded, so I settled on the accounting side. Yeah. But the way I do my type of position is I am, like you said, I'm in my shops all the time. I am constantly on the floor. I am working with my estimators. I'm working with my parts people. I'm out with my techs. I'm trying to make our processes best because I'm an end user of the whole thing. And so what everybody else does flows down to me at the end.
Yep.
And if what comes to me is garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. So the way that I can control the process and make sure that we are getting the reporting, we're getting whatever we need out of the information to make it useful for my managers, my owners, that type of stuff, is to be involved in the process all the way upstream, starting from before the customer even walks in our door.
Oh, wow.
And I love that. That's fun to me.
Awesome. So more of a procedures and getting it right the first time kind of, that's awesome. So how does Worth fit
Absolutely.
That's my question is, how do we fit into this, and how, how can we improve?
Well, that's what's been so fun, and how I got connected with you is, of course, I'm out on the shop floor. I'm working with my techs, and they're out there repairing the cars. They're going to town. They're doing great. They're pulling stock from our Worth cabinets, but they're not always doing the best job at tracking it and being able, therefore, to get it on the estimate, bill for it, and collect for it. And so that's where I kind of step in, and I'm like, hey, what are your guys' challenges? What's holding you up? We had some issues with our iPads of the scanning. We had an issue with the app. We've gotten all that stuff kind of wound out and taken care of. So every one of my technicians has an iPad with it, with the app installed on it. So they keep that with them. It's got their repair procedures for the different OEMs on it. It's got it's got all different programs that we use on it. And they carry that with them at their toolbox at the repair. And when they go to the Worth cabinet, they know to take it with them, or I'm probably going to be coming after them and scan what they need to scan.
Don't want to get Mary upset. Let's keep her happy.
No, they don't want me on them, I can tell you that.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, where do you see these integrations going? I know that you and I spoke quite frequently, or at length, I should say, about the CCC integration. Are there other programs out there that you would like to see this talking to or integrating with, or?
Well, I would love to see, so we've got the integration data pump from CCC into Worth, which is fantastic. My guys don't have to go searching for the car or the name, the RO. They can just select it and scan, boom, done and save, which is awesome for me, because then I go into my estimators and work with them on the billing. Problems I'm seeing that I'm having, though, is as an MSO with multiple locations, I need to be able to run reporting on all of my shops together. I want to run individually by tech and who's scanning and estimator, but then I want to roll all of my shops up comparatively to each other. Okay. And that would be a huge advantage for me as an end user to say, all right, store A, you're killing it. Store B, you're falling behind. What's going on? And to kind of be able to play with those numbers a little bit better comparatively.
Okay. Yeah. And what you're talking about is something that the architecture is already there. We just need to put some final polishing touches on to make it work better for you. So that should not be a big deal to get that done for you. So yeah, we can definitely do that.
I would hope Yeah, I'd love to see that. And, you know, end users don't always get this quite involved in the process upstream.
Mm-hmm.
So my suggestion is for any shops out there, get your end user involved, especially if they know anything about a shop and the flow of a shop and they get the general gist of it. Get them involved, because everybody does what they need to do on their end and lets it flow down, but doesn't necessarily know the problems it's causing or the errors or anything that it's causing downstream. So managers and owners, get your end user involved up top stream, and it's just going to help make everything so much smoother and travel down nicely to the end use of our financials.
Yes, so it's all about making the money. Well, Mary, to tell you what, I do appreciate you coming on here and just taking a few minutes just to tell us how, well, one, how awesome you are, but also at the same time of what the company that you're working for and just guiding into the 21st century here. You know, we're already what, a quarter of the way in, so I guess, man, I'm feeling old all of a sudden. But you know, I tell you what, you're just an absolute treat to have on today, and I do appreciate you. Guys, if you'd like to be on here, you know, I would love to have more conversations with shop owners and the major players. I want to say is that you know, these kinds of folks are the ones that really make this industry go. These are the kind of folks that allow the industry to grow the way it needs to grow. And you know, we're long past the you know, well, I think I can fix that for $200 kind of, you know, estimation. You know, we are getting into very technical things in the world, and it's going to get to the point where, you know, we're looking at things like artificial intelligence. We're looking at automatically driven cars. Now, don't believe that you know, because you have an autopilot, and this going back to the aviation world here, just because you have autopilot doesn't mean you're not going to be running into some bumps along the way. So, you know, wrecking cars, it's going to be interesting to how the insurance world works when it's like, well, I wasn't driving, the car was driving, and it ran over that cow that was out in the middle of the road and it didn't see it. You know, who knows? You know, whose fault is it going to be? So it's going to be an interesting world that we're coming up on. And you know what? It's going to be folks like Mary and Worth, you know, all working together to come up with those solutions that are going to guide us as we move forward. Again, thank you everybody for taking the time to watch this quick little video here. Mary, thank you again for coming to join us. And if you guys need anything, feel free to give the tech line a call. The number is 1-800-864-6561. And we do appreciate the time, and have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Be well. Bye.
Bye.